Hi guys, welcome to video 2. I hope you've gone through and created your mathematical equation. Now what I want to face with you is really the fear that's stopping you. So if you know what it is that's a missing part of your equation, let's tackle the fear. Now, fear can have multiple meanings. If you look at the acronym, it can be face everything and rise, or it could be face everything and run. It really just depends on what side of the coin you're coming from. So fear isn't a physical object. Let's get that straight. It's not something I can touch on my computer screen, or I can grab on my phone, or I can go to the supermarket and buy and just go, you know what? Today I feel like being afraid. The only place that fear lives is in your mind. And the only person who can really stop you being afraid is you, which is the good news and the bad news. So the good news is it puts you completely in the driver's seat, that you have the power and you have the ability to diminish fear at any point in time that you feel that you're ready to. And that's the key. You need to be ready to. And if you're listening to this course, then I definitely take it that you are ready to step forward and move forward and really create that killer, sexy, creative confidence. So what are you afraid of? Now, me personally, I've been there. I've been afraid of failing. I've been afraid of failing in my business. I've been afraid of failing in my relationships. I've been afraid of letting other people down when I've worked for them. So fear comes in many different types, shows up in many different situations, but you're the only person who can control it. So let me ask you a question. Have you been on a roller coaster? Have you ever gone swimming in the ocean? Have you ever flown on a plane? Have you ever driven a car? At one point, I'm not saying right now, but at one point, were you afraid of any of those things? And I can honestly say, yes, once upon a time, I was petrified of driving a car. I was terrified before I'd ever gotten a plane. I remember vividly the first time I rode a roller coaster, and it wasn't the best experience. But did you do it again? Did you go out and drive a car again? Did you go out and get on a plane again? Did you go on a roller coaster again? Did you confront or talk to somebody that you were really interested in because you genuinely wanted to get to know them? If you've done it once, then you're telling your brain you can do it again. So it's really being able to get over that first hurdle and that first step and saying, you know what, I can do this. Because the truth is you can. You've done it 100 times with a million other things, but you're totally and absolutely certain that you can drive a car, or you can jump on a roller coaster and you'll survive on the other end, or that you can go swimming in the middle of the ocean, or not necessarily the middle of the ocean, but you can go swimming in the ocean and not get eaten by a shark. Whatever the fear is that you have, if you've gone through and you've faced it, it actually diminishes the fear. It goes away. It might not go away completely, but over time and the more and more you practice it, the more and more confident you become in your ability to be able to execute it. The same thing comes to confidence. It didn't just take me one time to speak in front of a group one time or pick up and do a cold call one time to be able to be confident and to be able to do it. It was consistency and practice. The missing piece that most people don't talk about is determination. I was honestly 100% determined to crush my fear of being professionally not confident. Like, I just wasn't going to have that. I just knew that I wanted to create a lifestyle for myself and my family that I could be proud of. Now, the person who really turned this around for me was Tony Robbins. Now, you may or may not have heard of him. If you haven't, please, I highly recommend that you jump on YouTube and check out his stuff for free. He's got a ton of books. One book I would recommend to you would be Unleash the Power Within. Another book would be Awaken the Giant Within. Both two amazing books of his that really help break down his story and how he created a lifestyle that honestly I could only dream of. The reason I have chosen to follow him, and whether you believe in his stuff or not, you can also check him out on Netflix. He has a documentary called I'm Not Your Guru. If you believe in his stuff or not, he has had massive impact and massive influence on people. And he took us through an experiment, which I'm going to walk through with you now, of certain patterns of behavior and how your body can physically change the way you approach things. So, for example, if I said to you, I want you to approach somebody that you don't know, right? And they're going to come at you the same way. I often do this in my workshops. And I want you to pretend that you're really shy and you're feeling really uncomfortable and that you're not certain if they're going to reject you or not. And it's just all very uncertain. So the way that we talk to them, like we hunch up, our voice gets a little quieter. We hesitantly reach out and shake the hand, and notice what my body does. My hand's going out, but my face is going away, so I'm still creating that personal distance. And we would do that to each other. Our body language was the same. He didn't have to say or demonstrate how to be shy. We naturally knew how to do that through our body language. We were fearful. We were acting fearful. Hand toward but face away, so I'm still creating distance with my body. And the reason we do that is because we're trying to still keep ourselves safe. We're still trying to reach out and do what has been asked of us. But you can see that our body is an incongruency with what we're doing. We're still doing it anyway, but we're afraid. I'm going to give you a tool. It's a really, really amazingly effective tool. And it will only take you 2 minutes to actually execute this, and you can do it anywhere. And the official name for this tool is power posing. And I'm going to give you the resource of the video. Amy Cuddy is a Harvard professor and lecturer, and she has a YouTube video on powerful power posing. And it shows you how you can physically use your body to create a change in the state or the change in the way that you feel and really crush fear. So the reason I want to give this to you is we've been talking about fear and how fear can stop you. With being consistent and with practice, you can crush it. But to take that first step, I just want to give you a tool and resource that you can use and do this anywhere, and it will only take you 2 minutes. And trust me, it's amazing. So what it is, who's familiar with Wonder Woman? Yeah, so the hands on the hips, the pose, the shoulders are down but out, and you're definitely extending your body, chin's raised a little bit, you're very proud, you're taking up a lot of space. I'm going to give you an actual example of what these different power poses look like, but this one's called Wonder Woman. What else she does, there's 5 different power poses, but I'm only going to share with you 2. The reason for that is because I find these are the 2 most powerful that you can do anywhere. So one is Wonder Woman. So all you need to do is put your hands on your hips, put your legs shoulder width apart, raise your chin slightly, and just hold that pose for 2 minutes. Now this actually creates a chemical change in your body. It reduces the fear or stress hormone called cortisol in your system, and it increases testosterone, which is the confidence hormone. So simply by changing the way that you stand for 2 minutes a day, and you can do this as many times as you like, but just simply in 2 minutes, being able to shift from fearful to confident is an amazing technique, an amazing tool, and I'd highly recommend you go check out her TED Talk called Power Posing. So one is Wonder Woman and the other one is the CEO position. Now, I really like this one just because it's a bit of fun. And the way that you do it, and I'm not able to show you at the moment because I'm very pregnant and I can't actually bend over that far, but it's putting your hands on the table in front of you and putting your arms out and leaning on the table. So this is really powerful in trying to create a power balance. So the person behind the desk, so say for example you're using this in an office or a work situation, putting your hands on the desk immediately tells the other person that you're in control. You can also do this with family. For example, if you're feeling very fearful in a situation and you instantly want to create a bit more of a power dynamic change, and I don't mean fearful in a situation that you're being threatened, I mean fearful emotionally that you're going to be rejected or that you have something that you're uncomfortable that you want to say and you feel like there's an imbalance in power. You can just put your hands on the table. It's not a threatening position, but it does show a little bit of dominance and a little bit of control. So hands straight out in front of you, leaning on the table, your body postures forward, and it just creates that ability to show the other person, yeah, I'm in control of this situation. Yes, I'm certain with what I'm saying, and I'm backing myself up here. So please remember that all of these positions, techniques, and tools are to be used in a way to help you. These techniques and tools are never meant to be used as to create dominance over somebody or to create a threatening situation towards somebody or making somebody feel uncomfortable. These are only personal tools to be used to help you feel more confident and help you take more control. So the homework for this particular video is I want you to have a look at Amy Cuddy's TED Talk, and I'll put a link below and in the resources, as well as check out some of Tony Robbins' stuff and have a look and really start to have a think about what is it you're afraid of? What are you afraid of, and how can you consistently take action towards that? I want you to write down 3 things that you're afraid of, but what I also want you to do is write down what would happen if you decided no longer to be afraid of those 3 things. How would your life change? And how would your confidence grow? So I want you to write down 3 things that you're afraid of. And then below for each item, so each of the 3 things, I want you to write down how life would change if this fear was to be diminished, and as well as